Hello and welcome to the GSBC podcast, brought to you by the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Matt Taylor-Farrington from Purple Bunny Marketing, and today I am joined by Jomar. Thank you for coming along. And Jomar is from the Philippines Australian Multicultural Association. And we're going to talk a bit about the association today and find out what it's all about. So PAMA was found in 2021 to foster unity, friendship and multicultural integration across Ipswich and Greater Springfield. What was the spark or the moment that led you to founding the team to establish this association?
Yes, thanks, Matt,
No worries.
for inviting me over to share about PAMA and my work in community service.
Yes.
Actually, my involvement with community service started as early as 2018.
Yes.
Because I just arrived, my family just arrived from overseas to base in Brisbane, and one of the senior residents in the community saw that the Robelle Domain has a very nice venue for big events. Then she asked around, was there a Filipino event done in that venue? And there was none. Then, because she came from Townsville where there's a lot of Filipino events, said, why can't we do something like that here? But then she needed somebody to be able to lead that initiative, because my background is a project manager, consultant back in Singapore. Then she just asked me, can you be part of this initiative?
Yes.
Yeah, then I didn't have a lot of experience doing festivals.
Yes.
But then I said, why not? It's like a project. I would treat this as a project. Yeah, then I gathered some residents here, put together a plan, then we came out with what they call the Autumn Festival of 2019. It was such a big success for that first event. All over from Southeast Queensland went there, mostly from the Filipino community, and was almost like filled up the event. And one thing I realized when I saw it, I think the secret, because of the program we had, was inclusive. It wasn't only about Filipino performers. We had some non-Filipino performers as well. Mm-hmm. So I saw that the non-Filipinos also enjoyed it. It was one factor that made it a better program, that both Filipinos and non-Filipinos enjoyed that event. And then COVID happened. We couldn't really do anything, or even the space. After COVID, there was we were thinking about, how are we going to organize ourselves as a community here? Because if we want to do something like this, then we decided to create a legal entity, so that we can apply for funding and all those sort of things. Then we were thinking, what's the best way to structure this entity? I said, let's not create another Filipino association, because there's a lot of them in Brisbane at the moment. And why don't we create a multicultural association, but it's with the Filipino values, they're saying, to like mix up to it. Because in the Philippines, the history of the Philippines, in history, that it was always welcoming to what they call marginalized countries that were escaping wars and everything like that. We did it for Vietnam, we did it to the Holocaust victims. So there was a lot of Filipino values that I wanted to be part of that organization, so to welcome different cultures inside the organization.
Yes.
So that created the PAMA.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay. So there's a bit behind the story of how it all got started, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And your vision centers around enriching multicultural friendships and civic life. How does PAMA bring that vision to life through the programs and the community work?
Oh, yes. Well, we're not a big organization in terms of members, but our members have a lot of skill sets, experience who are passionate about doing volunteer work. So we do all our work outside of our normal jobs. But we do have quite a number of retirees as well, who are part of our organization, who are also able to contribute their time.
Yes.
Now, what we do, we create events that will be a good platform for people to come together and do something for the community.
Yep.
Because my view about life is that if you're talking about multiculturalism or what they call cross-cultural cooperation, you can't really treat it in a vacuum and say it's going to happen automatically. You have to create a reason why we have to do it. And one of the reasons is to have an event, a big event. We have a number of events during the year. One is a Christmas party. One is a dance night. We call it Retro.
Yes.
This is one of the biggest events we have. This is the biggest event. SpringFest, the one upcoming next week, is a platform for everybody in Southeast Queensland, not only Ipswich, to come there at Robelle Domain and just enjoy the day.
Yes.
And we have a whole day program lineup, and we have all the food stalls. But it's going to be really a chance for everybody to just, regardless of race, culture, to be in that day, just having fun, just trying to make it an awesome experience for everybody.
Yes, agreed. And you mentioned SpringFest then. One of my next questions was that it's kind of become one of PAMA's signature events. What does this festival mean to the Filipino community and I guess the wider multicultural community? And obviously you mentioned there that it's not just Ipswich and Greater Springfield. Obviously you said it reaches far further than just the Ipswich-Springfield region. Yeah.
In Brisbane, there are a number of Filipino festivals, but they're all related to Independence Day.
Yeah.
They all happen in June.
Yes.
There are quite a number of them. This festival is one what they call Filipino identified festival that doesn't happen in June. It happens in spring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason why we're doing it in spring, because we can't do it in winter, it's too cold. But spring is a good time. And the weather is, if you do it in timing correctly, you don't have to face all the, what they call storms, what they call Brisbane is known for. So we wanted to do it in September.
Yeah.
But then I believe that September is what we call, for us, is a multicultural month. Although August is multicultural month here in Brisbane.
Yes.
But September is a good time to, like, it's spring, new beginnings, because everybody's coming out from winter. So we want it to be in spring. Yeah, it's a good platform to do things for the community, and really just to like come out and enjoy things, because people are just coming out from winter. And we want it to be really multicultural, because I believe that September historically had a lot of multicultural events were happening in September in the past. But I don't know about now, but believe that September is a good way to schedule event, and we call it SpringFest.
Yes.
Perfect, September.
Yes. Yeah, great event. And obviously you said it's happening next week as well, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
on the 13th of September.
You also run programs like the PAMA Art Exhibition, which is aimed at using cultural art to foster acceptance and unity.
Yes.
Can you share how the creative expression bridges communities?
Oh, yes. Well, when we created that PAMA art exhibit, we did it in 2022 after our inaugural SpringFest, in November 2022.
Yes.
And the reason why, because obviously as PAMA, we want to do things that are multicultural, not only involving Filipino talent.
Yes.
So that was one way as a platform to what we call it, practice or make it real, what we mean as multicultural collaboration. And that's what happened. So we created that. We just held at the Ipswich Community Gallery, and we didn't only get Philippine artists to provide their paintings. We got people from with Chinese background, with Vietnamese background, with mainstream Australians. It was quite variation in terms of the culture that provided their works of art. And for me, art is, it's like food. That's the window to know about a particular culture, a particular country.
Yes.
Look at the art, see the people who created that art, and that's almost next to actually being in that country. If you can actually see the work of art here in Ipswich, then you're almost like going to be in that country, because you're actually seeing all the values or all the talent that came from that country and put that in that work of art. And that's one way to be like, how do you call it, as an adventure next to being in that country.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. All right. So beyond festivals and events, how does PAMA support Filipino migrants or multicultural groups, whether through welfare, sports, or community advocacy?
A good question. We started PAMA as really an organization that has two missions. The first mission is to create opportunities for cross-cultural friendships and understanding through events, sports, any activities that could have a reason for us to do something together as a multicultural group of people.
Yes.
So we have to create some reason to do things. The second one was if we have capacity to help, we will help, and we've
Yep.
done that a number of times. Where what they call the marginalized or at-risk members of the community. We did it for some international students. We did it for some organizations that all helps charity work. We would support them as well, and we
Yes.
get that through what's it called, because in PAMA all throughout the year we do some events. Some of them we can make money, some of them we don't make money, but we also do a lot of work as sausage. We do sausage sizzle here at
Yes.
the nearby Bunnings.
Yep.
So whatever we have that we feel that we can share, meaning our expenditure is okay, we can still afford to help other people, we will do that.
Yes. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Everyone loves a good sausage at Bunnings,
yeah,
so
that's
I'm
right,
sure they
that's
need to
right.
come down and see you and help contribute. All right, so as president of PAMA, what keeps you motivated day to day?
Yes, this kind of work that I'm getting involved, like being president of PAMA, is really a lot of hard work, because this is not my real job. I have a
Yes.
job, and I have to do these things after work, and we have a calendar all throughout the year to do our work. We have like start of the year, we have what they call a retro dance night, or even before that we can do something in January. Then we start planning for SpringFest around mid year.
Yes.
At SpringFest, then now we're gonna have what they call a multicultural sports tournament
Yes.
in late part of this year, like November.
Yep.
So all of that is almost like a full-time job, but then that's not my real job. But one thing that really inspires me is the word uplift. You uplift the
Yes.
society.
Yes.
And being part of Ipswich, having made this my home since 2016, I believe that whatever I'm doing in PAMA, even not only in PAMA but outside PAMA,
Yes.
or other what you call volunteer work that I do, are ways to uplift the society.
Yes.
I think this word uplift is very crucial in terms of, because no one can really live on its own, like as an island. We have to really look after each other, and like, because at the end of the day, there are some people in the community that are probably not as well off as you. So how
Yes.
can you share your talents to really help them, or through through uplifting the community? And
Yes.
everything that I'm doing here that inspires me is the fact that I'm helping uplift the society, maybe Ipswich in general.
Yes.
So that when we do these events, people go to Ipswich, people see, hey, Ipswich is a nice place and a very cool place. We go to Ipswich and it helps all of us here.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Well, you definitely sound very passionate about it. So, what's next for PAMA? After SpringFest 2025, you mentioned the sports.
Yes. Oh well, we started organizing. Well, not yet full on, because we're still gonna focus on SpringFest, but we already started organizing for a volleyball one-day tournament.
Yep.
Here in Southeast Queen. Well, it's not in Ipswich at the moment, because we have to look for a place that
Yes,
will be
a venue.
suitable for that.
Yep.
So it's gonna be somewhere in Logan. But having said that, it's going to cater to a multicultural, we call that, lineup of teams.
Yes.
And well, the more multicultural, the better.
Yes.
Because sports is also universal. You can make sports be enjoyed by different cultures. The same
Correct.
thing, same way as food. Food is probably some cultures who just want their own kind of food. But for sports, anybody who enjoys the sports, regardless of the culture, they
Yes.
want that. So that's one way for us to also promote what we are passionate about, which is multicultural cooperation. I call it cross-cultural understanding and cooperation, and,
Yes.
and inclusivity. If we can make that sports event one way to do that, then we support that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, to wrap up, then, if you could leave our listeners with one simple way to promote multicultural friendship in their own community, what would it be?
I think to be able to be open to this idea of multiculturalism, inclusivity, it's really a mindset change, meaning that we're better off as a diverse community rather than not diverse.
Yes.
I believe that because if you have diversity, then you have different ideas, different talents from all over, rather than if you just focus thinking that you can just rely on one particular part of the community, you're probably going to limit yourself. But if you bring in diversity there, then you have different kinds of perspectives. It's really going to open up the talents, the experience, and that will be better for society. What we need, though, is to, in spite of the diversity, we need to be able to somehow have a way to make everybody's different point of view work together, rather than just saying. So we need to learn to accept differences and be able to work and leverage on the differences to do something good for the society.
Yes.
It takes a lot of patience to do that, because some people are probably not comfortable dealing with difference in opinions.
Yes.
But it's one way to really expand our horizon, experiences, and talent pool to be comfortable with diversity.
Definitely. Great advice, I think. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for coming along to have a chat, Jomar. I really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of the GSBC podcast. Make sure that you head over and check out PAMA's social media channels. They're all over Facebook. I've seen them. And check out all of their latest events.